What's this film you've been making about?
The duplicity of the man. Well, I'm a little unsure. Its original concept seems to have altered somewhat in terms of content. It seems now to be more about us than anything else.
It's a film about you.
Yes. Yes, I think it is. That's or about. It's not really about our music. It's a documentary, really, of a performance over a number of days, which occurred in two places, mainly in Pompeii, in the old amphitheatre, and then some work in a studio in Paris.
Are you happy about it?
What I've seen of it, extremely, yes.
Do you find it interesting in film work or not, or is it rather a bore?
Some of it's a bore, obviously because of the techniques of filming. But on the other hand, it's quite interesting if one can get over the boredom of hanging around waiting for shots to be done and all that.
Are you fairly happy about it?
I'm fairly happy with what I've seen, but then, you know, the final product will be obviously a lot different to what I've seen. And I'm very happy with the music, because that's something I know about, and we're listening to it now, and it's good. And I said the rushes are good as well, but it all depends now as how it's edited.
What film?
Well, the film you've been in Paris, and somebody said you've been down to Pompeii as well.
Huh?
I mean, what's it all about, you know? Trying to get some information on the film you're doing.
Rock and roll.
It's rock and roll?
Mm.
David Gilmour. Huh? What's this?
It was supposed to be about Christo and Magritte as well, I do believe, but I don't know whether the director has it in mind to carry on those lines.
Are you happy about the film on the whole?
Dear, oh dear, this gets deeper and deeper. This isn't for TV, this is for you. Yes, I think I'm fairly happy about the film. Seems jolly good fun to me.
What's this film that you've been doing all about? Been trying to find out, you know, off the others what they think about it, but they tell me what they thought about it. What do you think about it?
You asked me all this before.
You didn't reply though.
No.
Oh, we'll go on to something else, shall we?
Yep.
Yeah. Have you seen the other pop films or not? I mean,
Yes, I've seen some other pop films.
Did you like any of them, and if so, which one?
Yes, I've liked Joe Cocker's Mad Dogs and Englishmen. I liked Frank Zappa's 200 Motels. I liked Tony Palmer's All My Loving.
Woodstock.
Woodstock, jolly good fun, yeah, admirable.
I liked Woodstock very much indeed. I liked the split screening, and I thought that some of the atmosphere came over in Woodstock. I mean, it was a huge improvement over previous films where a band has appeared and mimed rather badly to some popular tune of the day.
The one I really liked was Joe Cocker's,
Yeah.
because that really made me feel good. Woodstock as an event was incredible, but Joe Cocker's film, I think, is one of the best films I've seen on pop music.
Why do you find that particularly good?
Because it's not trying to do anything but show what was happening. Somehow, it seems to me a very honest film in a way. That's the impression I got of it.
What do you think about the other pop films that have been out? I mean, things like, I don't know, Joe Cocker or Give Me Shelter or Woodstock or...
I haven't seen the Joe Cocker movie.
Hmm.
I enjoyed Woodstock.
Why?
Well, it's rock and roll, isn't it?
Success has always meant that there's 100 copyists ready to jump. I mean, that's not true only of rock and roll, as you yourself well know, Adrian. In terms of films, a successful film is always followed by a spate of films along the same sort of lines.
There'll be a lot of films that will look like Woodstock for some time.
Yes, I mean, not a lot, because, the immediate copies of Woodstock, were a disaster. There was the Woodstock Festival, which was filmed almost immediately afterwards. There were about 3 other films that were made of festivals, all of which were never completed because they were
Even
poor.
the festivals.
Right.
were less good.
Strangers popped into the street. Overhead the albatross hangs motionless upon the air, and deep beneath the rolling waves, in labyrinths of coral caves, the echo of a distant time comes willowing across the sand, and everything is green and submarine. And no one called us to the land, and no one knows the wheres or whys. Something stirs and something tries, starts to climb towards the light.
Was it you put an hand in?
Bit out?
Yeah, and you put an hand in before everything, and there isn't one.
Right, can you drop those
Yeah, out or just dropped?
very low?
There's a gap. I mean, if it's a matter of cutting off the sea of cloudless to match. Does that machine cut out the other things as well when it's actually running, like it does when it's running back?
Thanks, you're right. That's exactly it, unless I record it, won't hear it. Oh, then I'll put it in here directly.
See it.
Okay.
So it was a little bit early again.
Oh, it's a bit
I'll
early.
move it further along. Let's try recording it this time.
Yeah, try recording it. Sure.
Come on, because you're more critic, you know. Now you're gonna hear plenty.
You want to turn it down a little bit?
Let me rewind this one.
It was a bit early again, didn't it?
No, I've done it now.
Shall we try to put it on directly? Just in case we,
Yeah,
we've
we
got
should
it?
try every time.
So, okay. No, that should probably.
And we've removed it. Another 3 inches.
This time I'll record it, so if it's okay, it's okay.
What were you doing before you became interested in music?
I was studying architecture at the Regent Street Polytechnic.
I've been playing guitar. I've been playing a bit of guitar ever since I was about 15. In bands, this and that and the other.
We were students
Where were you a student?
at the Regent Street Polytechnic School of Architecture.
And you dropped architecture
Yeah.
to pick up music?
Well, no, it didn't. It wasn't quite like that. I mean, for the first 2 or 3 years that we were playing, we were still students. See.
I met Nick and Raucher at architecture school, Regent Street Poly. I went to music college for a year, and I did private piano lessons before that.
The band was working after a fashion, and things were beginning to happen. I mean, we'd got a record contract, and we were making a record and getting work, and generally being talked about slightly. And it became increasingly obvious that there was not time to do both things. And I very badly wanted to be a rock and roll star as well as a successful architect. And fortunately, I had a very good yearmaster at the time. And I went to him and said, look, I don't know what to do. What shall I do? Because I'd done 5 years, and I didn't want to sort of throw it all up and then 6 months later try and go back. And he said, well, lad, obviously most sensible to go out and seek your fortune, because you can always come back, which was like a very easy way out for me.
And then you decided to drop the architecture.
Yeah. Well, I didn't decide to drop it, they decided to drop me, actually. They suggested that I left, which really suited me right down to the ground, because I hated it. And then I was lost for a bit, and in fact I went and did interior design for the sake of trying to do something else, and gave that up after 2 months.
You didn't go to university or to college or polytechnic?
No. I went to the Cambridge Technical College and did a bit of van driving as well, just to please Nicky.
You didn't sell pet food?
No, I didn't sell pet food, no, but they tell me it's a very interesting profession. No, the only thing I've ever really done for a living is play guitar.
Would you say that you were now well off, having worked with the Floyd for 5 years?
I'd say I'm well off.
Yes, pretty well off.
No. I got a fair bit of money, I think.
Depends who you compare it to.
I mean, I don't know how much money I've got. Are you talking about money?
Yes.
Yeah, I've no idea how much money I've got, you see.
I mean, it's very hard to say. The main reason that makes it hard to say is that we have not yet settled up all our income tax affairs. So we haven't had what might be termed the final reckoning.
Guitare première.
Oh, Adrian!
Anybody can do
Adrian!
That's a jolly good one. You should, I tell you what, get 4 of them and try it. Be jolly good. Yeah. You'd probably be just as good, yeah.
Well, if they work on it for a year or so.
Yeah.
No.
Because there were some people in the studio yesterday, and they said, oh, well, it's all very well, you know, with all that equipment around and all that money, anybody could do that. Anybody could do the same sort of sounds effect.
Yeah.
Are they wrong?
Are they wrong?
Of course they're fucking wrong.
It's absolute rubbish. It's a load of rubbish. You have to be
highly, you have to be highly trained
and
classically
sensitive.
trained, even I'd go so far as to say, sensitive musicians.
It's been a gradual process.
How long has it lasted?
Money's no problem.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, fewer for David than for some
About
of us.
5 years.
And so you've just added bits of equipment. I mean, every year you've got more and more and more.
Well, look at the back of Umaguma.
Ooh?
Yeah.
Look at the back of Umaguma and you'll see there's about a quarter of what there is now. But it looked a lot then, didn't it?
What about the idea that anybody can do, as I've already asked you this, anybody can do what you're doing if you are technically sufficiently well equipped? Do you think that's rubbish?
Yes, I do, because it's not just a matter of doing it, it's a matter of selecting. I mean, anyone can produce the sounds we get, but the whole point about it is that you've got to decide which sounds to use, how to put them together.
No, I think it's rubbish. I mean, that anybody could. It's ridiculous. It's like saying... No, it's not like saying that at all. I can't think of something else which uses expensive equipment.
Well, I mean, is it like saying a painter? I mean, you know who...
No, that was what flashed into my mind. It's not like saying that at all, because anybody can go out and buy a tube of paint, but not everybody can go out and buy a 1,000-watt PA. But that was the example that flashed into my mind. Obviously, it takes more than brushes and expensive paint to paint a groovy picture, man. I'd like to see it. I mean, any...
Still actually, no, Mr. Gilmour.
The well-known destructor. The well-known door destructor.
Sorry about that little interruption.
That's all right.
What were we saying?
Now
Now we're talking about Heath Robinson equipment, yes.
Yes, and I made one point of the 2 points that I was going to make. The second point seems to have slipped from my mind. It was something about the over-electronicizing of it all.
Getting bigger and bigger.
Yes, well, I think there's a move. I mean, there's various schemes afoot to diversify in various directions, in terms of sort of recording and so on. Anyway, not involving enormous electronic devices.
No, I really don't think the...
What? Coupe l'instant, coupe.
I don't think...
Clap de fin.
Clap de fin, oui.
I was just about to say something then.
Sorry, but if...
No. That isn't a problem. I mean, we do have problems, but like, the equipment taking us over isn't one of them.
When you say you do have problems, what do you mean?
Well, Doctor.
I mean, serious ones.
Yes, we've all got problems in our heads, like everybody has. But not in the truck.
Strangers passing in the street, by chance two separate glances meet, and I am you and what I see is me. And do I take you by the hand and lead you through the land and help me understand the best I... Can you cut Rick's line out? And no one calls us me. Do I take you by the hand and lead you through the land? Help me understand the best I can. No one calls us to move on, and no one forces.
Entry.
Flat.
Flat.
What did you say?
What did you say?
I was singing the wrong words.
We understand the best I can. No one calls us to move on, and no one forces down our eyes. No one speaks and no one tries. No one flies.
You got to sing no one.
Yeah, give me the whole verse and you can drop in, but I'm...
Okay, okay.
And lead you through the land. Help I can. No one calls us to move on, and no one forces down our eyes. No one speaks and no one tries. No one climbs around the sun.
Flies.
Clap de fin.
Flies.
Of course, presents problems, but so far we've managed to surmount them. I mean, it accounts, I think the sort of interpersonal friction of bands accounts for the sort of breakup of bands almost more than anything else. I mean, it's put in various ways of difference of musical policy or whatever.
Strangers passing in the street by chance. To move on, and no one forces down our eyes. No one speaks and no one tries. No one flies around the sun. I went out in one place, didn't I?
Well, the only thing is that on the original you sang someone or one. Do you remember?
Yeah. But I thought there was a different one than that.
No, it was all together apart from that.
Okay. Well, what do you propose to do about that?
We'll listen to it. We'll just check it out.
Okay, I'll come in.
Should we read here, or do you want to read it?
I'm going to do a party trick. I can't do it, Adrian.
No, just one then. Just one. You know, a normal one.
You've had several of those already.
No, he hasn't got them.
Of course he got them. He got them earlier.
Don't argue, Raucher, just do it.